The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, everybody, relax. Thank you so much. Welcome to the fastest podcast on earth. That's Dumbing It Down with Dave as I broadcast on the New York State Thruway northbound on this Wednesday, November 9th. Very historic day, or the very historic day after the very historic day, where Donald Trump has won the United States presidential election, which was a surprise to, I guess, not only to everybody who didn't vote for him, but many of the people who did vote for him, including myself. I really didn't think it was going to go this way. But it is, and it's done. So congratulations, of course, to Donald Trump and Mike Pence and everybody involved and all the Trump supporters, which I was one of. And I gotta tell you, I'm amazed that I picked a winner. I really am. Not bad for a non-college graduate and college ungraduated. I'm so not intelligent enough to know how to speak. I don't even know what to call it. Just not college graduated. That's the best we can do. Okay, not bad. I picked a winner. Does that mean I got lucky? What does that mean? Does it mean anything? It means nothing. Just means I picked the guy that won. I picked somebody that did all the work and did a lot of work for a year and a half and then won. I can't imagine what that life must have been like for the last year and a half. It must have been grueling. I hope they make a documentary. I hope they filmed it and make a documentary about it. It had to be incredibly grueling. So, I mean, even if he's a millionaire and he has a private plane and he has people tending to his every needs, still, it's constant motion. Constant motion for a year and a half. And Hillary, too, for that matter. Constant motion. It's got to be very hard. Constantly trying to get traction. Constantly trying to get people to pay attention. I mean, I do it on this small scale. On the scale that I do it on. Going to work every 5 days a week. 4 to 5 days a week. 16 hours a day. Commuting the 2 hours. Trying to squeeze in a podcast during my commute to work. And all that. It's exhausting. I got leaves all over my yard, and it rained yesterday, so I don't have the machine to suck up all the leaves, so it's got to be raked. In the meantime, on my day off, I'm driving down to Brooklyn to support my nephew, or my nephews, 2 of them. One's on a JV football team, one's on a varsity football. So last week we went down for the varsity nephew, and next week we're going down to see the JV nephew. And that's a long drive. It's a whole day. It just completely destroys my Sunday, my first day off, which I don't even sleep when I get home. So yes, last week when I got home, Sunday night, it was 30 hours up. I was up for 30 straight hours. Maybe even more. No, about 30. I don't want to brag. It's not anything I'm particularly proud of. Particularly proud of. It just is. It had to be done. I drove down and I drove back and I stayed up. And I ate at a place called Roland Roaster in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn. Where if they don't sponsor the show, but if you have not been there and you like, fast food and a lot of it and deliciousness, it's good. I'm not as fond of it as I am Waffle House, and it's a totally different restaurant. It's like Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, and a pizzeria all in one, and it's on steroids. So I paid $6.45 for a shake, which really wasn't worth it, but whatever. Anyway, welcome, dum-dums. Welcome to the Dumbcast. It's great to have you. This is Wednesday, November 9th. It's 4:46 in the afternoon. I am northbound the New York State Thruway. I'm just south of the Catskill exit on my way to work. What an interesting time in America. I don't know what else I could possibly talk about today. Last night I was on the Thruway, headed to Syracuse and Rochester, and I don't have Sirius satellite in the truck, so every 30 miles I'm looking for another radio station So I'm trying to follow the election and all the results and everything like that, for the entire night. And boy, was that an entire night. I mean, I was on the road. What time was I on the road? Like 7, not including the commute. So whatever, it was like 7 p.m. And I had a local station out of Albany. And as you head west, it doesn't last long. But by the time you get to 30 miles, I don't remember how many miles I got out of range. Now I'm looking for another station. So I was able to grab NPR stations. I grabbed the Fox station. And it was kind of interesting to listen to the NPR point of view and the Fox point of view. Now, Mark, my friend Mark, who is one of the listeners of the show, listeners and commenters of the show, told me he was watching CNN and Fox, and apparently it was like two different countries. One was willing to call a state and the other one was not. So is there a bias? Well, listen, yes, and who cares? It's okay if it's entertainment. You got a bias in entertainment? Sure. You're supposed to, I don't know if you're supposed to remain objective. Well, if you're a news station, you're supposed to remain objective. If you're doing entertainment, I guess you can have a bias. You want the viewers who are listening to your station to be entertained. It really is all about the ratings. It's all about the dollar. You can't have a TV station, a TV network, and not be concerned about the dollar. Nobody's doing it for artistic reasons. It's just not the way it works. So if CNN or MSNBC, I think he was watching CNN, if they're going to be biased, if they're going to have a left-wing bias, so be it. You know it in advance, and let it be. Same thing with Fox. Does Fox have a right-wing bias? Well, so be it. Let it be. They want to appeal to viewers like myself. Although, let me finish that thought. I got to do the mileage report. Today's mileage report in my 2008 Kia Rio LX. It's an LX, which my buddy Todd sent me a note explaining what the LX is, but not really. He said it's that's the model number, or whatever he said. I know that, but what does L and X mean? Why L? Why X? That was the point. So all these suffixes. I know SS and the Nova was super sport, but it's always something stupid. It's just a macho thing that they put on cars. That's all. It's just these dopey suffixes. And I did a whole show on that. I don't remember what number. So today's mileage report brought to you by Pipe Dream. Pipe Dream Live every Wednesday, wherever you are in the world, every Wednesday on the internet. Wednesday at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Now it's Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Wednesday on the Eastern Seaboard of the United States. Pipe Dream Live is an internet show, live comedy. Mike 3D and Jefferson and Joe Green are the co-hosts. One guy talks, two guys listen and laugh. There's a lot of listening, there's laughter, and there's love. All right, for an hour. They'll have a special guest. They do it live. It's potentially the most interactive radio show on the internet. They have a Twitter address. You could tweet them, and you could Skype, and you could do a whole bunch of stuff. And you can watch it live on YouTube. And it's Pipe Dream from the people from Comedy Pipe, the comedypipe.com comedy network. There you go, Pipe Dream Live. And the mileage on the Kia Rio this week is 219,711. 219,711 miles, still going strong. All right, there's your mileage report. So I went on a little rabbit trail. Let's see if I can get back. Yeah, so Fox, MSNBC, you know what you're watching. So what I was saying right before the mileage report was, I never knew. No, I never knew. Whatever. Let's finish the sentence. I never knew that I needed a station that appealed to me when it comes to news. I don't remember when this all started. Some of you might be more aware of it than I am. I don't know if it was the Fox News Network. Was it, what's his name? That guy that owns all these things. I can't remember his name. The controversial guy from England. Is he English? The guy, the famous wealthy guy that owns Fox, or he used to, and he owns those. Rupert Murdoch. There you go. So, with this fair and balanced, we report, you decide. Every time I hear that, I cringe. Every time they do that, fair and balanced, we report, you decide. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's the news. Just do the news. What is the news? And I don't remember when it happened. It's 2016 now. I'm 53 years old. I don't remember when the news was declared biased and slanted and skewed, that had a left-wing skew or right-wing. I always thought whatever I was watching, that's the way it was. Maybe it was Rush Limbaugh that brought it to the forefront. I don't know. I wasn't really politically active back then, nor am I politically active now. So I guess the it in dumbing it down with Dave for this particular part of the episode, maybe the entire episode. Oh, episode 40, by the way. Did you enjoy number 39? You should listen to it. It's called I'm Not a College Graduate, So What? And that's my response to, it's the white non-college graduates that are voting for Donald Trump. I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? What do you mean non-college graduate? What does that have to do with anything? So I explained that in episode 30. I talk about my feelings about being put in a category of non-college graduated white males. That's episode 39. So the last couple of episodes I think were pretty good. 38, 37, they're all pretty good. I wouldn't recommend, if you're a first-time listener, to go back to episode 1. Don't do that. I would go back to the later episodes, where I do this half-hour thing instead of unlimited amount of time. So I don't know why news has to be biased. I don't understand why these people have to work at Fox and these people have to work at CNN. I don't understand. Well, I know some people are saying, Dave, it's the money. Dave, it's politics. It's all connected. Somehow there's a connection between the United States government and these news networks. Wow. If that's true, and I have no way of knowing whether it is or not true. I know that there's this controversy over Donna Brazile, who's a political person whose job, I don't know what her job is. I just know the name Donna Brazile, and she's a black woman, which is kind of interesting to me because once upon a time there was a wrestler. Here's a wrestling reference for you. Actually, it's a WWF reference, not even a WWE reference. It's a WWF reference from the 70s. There was a black wrestler back in the day. His name was Bobo Brazil, and he was fantastic. He was huge, and he did the headbutt thing. So when I hear Donna Brazile, and she's a black woman, and then I immediately thought of Bobo Brazil, who's a black man and wrestler. And I just wonder if there's any connection. Are they both really named Brazil? Is that her real name or is that her political name? It's a great name, Brazil. I mean, it's a beautiful country. So it's just it's irrelevant. It's what I thought of immediately. It's Donna Brazile. Oh, I only knew one other person with the last name Brazil, and that's Bobo Brazil. Bobo is Spanish for clown, but this guy's name was Bobo Brazil, and he was a great wrestler, but they never made him champion, probably because he was black. But every match he did was fantastic, and he was a crowd favorite. I don't even know if they let him talk. I don't even know if he spoke English. But he was a big-time wrestler back in the day. Look how this show works. Where I introduce myself, I go to the mileage report, and then I go to politics, the election, and then right to WWE, or WWF. Anyway, so she's a political person. She's related to the Clintons somehow, politically. And she's giving them questions, debate questions in advance. Okay, whatever. It's wrong. You shouldn't do it. I don't know why you think why can't you have confidence in your person and the person you support that they can do the job without giving the questions in advance? Has that been absolutely 100% proven that she did it? I don't know. I just hear things on the news. I don't know if it's 100% sure that she did it. But she was let go, I guess, by CNN. So whatever connection there is, I don't need it. I don't know why people think we need that. Oh, we have to have a left-wing news network. Oh, we have to have a right-wing news network. And the right-wing news network, supposedly, the conservative news network or the Republican news network, whatever it's called, Fox News, they have to tell everybody, oh, by the way, we're fair and balanced. I listen to the radio a lot. At the top of the hour is Fox News, depending on what station you're listening to. And they love to say that. And now, at the top of the hour, Fox News, fair and balanced. We report, you decide. It's so annoying. Of course you're fair and balanced. Why wouldn't you be? What is there to do? Why would you? What's in it for you? And why would you want something to be in it for you? Just do the news. So I guess I'm mistaken that back in the day, Walter Cronkite just did the news. Is local news like that too? I do know that local news likes to do little dirty tricks. Not tricks, but like there's always a Christmas tree fire every year. And then they always go, it's always in a poor neighborhood. It's never a Christmas tree fire in the Hamptons or so whatever at Westchester. It's never a beautiful house. It's always some ghetto apartment building or whatever. And there's always some toothless black guy out on the street. They always love to interview these people. And I see that as a little bit of a bias, but maybe not. It's just a little of the tricks. And it's always something, the house on fire. It's always some... They never get a guy like me that just happens to be black. Oh yeah, I was walking by and I saw the house on fire and it's terrible. I feel bad. It's never that. It's always some slang, Ebonic speaking black person. Which, okay, Dave, if you're in Flatbush, Brooklyn, and Eyewitness News is there. By the way, not just Eyewitness News, Channel 4, and then Channel 2 in New York, and Channel 5, Channel 9, Channel 11, whatever. They all do it. So you're in Flatbush, Brooklyn. Who are you going to get on the street? This guy. But they always, they're wearing some dopey bandana. They're barely dressed. It's very typical when there's a shooting, whatever it is. But then again, maybe that's just what you'll find on the streets of Flatbush, Brooklyn. So are they doing dirty little tricks? Or is there some reporter who's trying to make a name for him or herself? Rightfully so. They're in the business of news and entertainment. Maybe that's the problem. It's news and entertainment. It's not just news. And they find somebody, and they have a microphone in their hand. They're a well-dressed man. They're a well-dressed woman. If it's a woman, she's most likely very pretty. Because the news doesn't hire the uglies. It's impossible. Can't do that. Who wants to see that? And believe me, I have an idea in my head. When I look at the news, I go, oh, that's not a good-looking woman. And I'm allowed to have that opinion. Because people have that opinion about me, that I'm not a good-looking man. That's fine. I see it in their faces when I meet people, and I know what they're thinking. So I'm allowed to have this opinion. Is it sexist? Is it whatever? Whatever it is, go ahead and call it that. I see women on TV, I go, all right, that's that woman. There's a woman I just saw today. She finally got her own show, and I can't believe it. I don't even think she's that talented to tell you the truth. I'm not going to mention her name. It's not nice. You can't say nothing nice, so say nothing at all. So I'm being general. But this woman on the news, she finally got her own show. She's been a co-host and whatever. She's been on the panel. And she's been, as far as I'm concerned, she's been largely ignored. I watch these shows that she's on. I go, why is she even there? She's like 2 or 3 seats to the right. She doesn't really, but she smiles. She looks at the camera. She looks at the host. She looks at the co-host. She smiles. She looks at the camera. She reacts. They go to commercial. They come back. She barely does anything. Now somehow she's proven herself. Now she has her own show. And I can't look at her. It's just unpleasant for me. I'm sorry. Sorry. Why am I sorry? Why am I apologizing? I know that people would be saying that about me. If I hosted a show on television, they go, I can't look at that guy. Ugh. All right, fine. I'm doing this on my talent. If she has talent, she'll do well. I don't think she even has talent. So, whatever. And by the way, you got CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, all these networks. Then ABC, NBC, CBS, then you got the local stuff. You're bound to hire people without talent. There's just too many people in the business. There's a lot of people doing journalism. And you got all those international, BBC, and there's just so many news networks. It's a good possibility that we've thinned out the talent pretty good. That not everybody should really have a microphone in their hand. Not everybody should be reading the news. Not everybody should be reporting on the news. That's in every field. Believe me, not everybody should be a truck driver. Not everybody should be a truck driver. I say that way more than I care to. There's some people that just should not be in the business. Some people probably should not be in politics. Some people should probably not even work at Walmart. That's the way it goes. It's okay. We're being pragmatic here. Pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. That's the subtitle for Dumbing It Down with Dave, fastest podcast on earth. It's just the way it is. Okay, so the news, the bias. I don't need it. Why can't I watch news where they just do the news? Not because it slants left or it slants right. What's the truth? Why can't we have a middle-of-the-road show? And by the way, I always say it should be the layman news. News for the layman. Can you explain, please, where Kazakhstan is? Can you please explain to me where Iraq is? Can you please show me on a map? All the time. Always dumb it down. You got to make it easy because you keep on talking. I don't know what a nationalist is. I don't know what an ethnic Sunni is. You talk as if I had already been prepared. Like somehow you grow up, you graduate high school, you go to college. Well, except for me, I'm not college graduated. I'm not college educated. And somehow I still maintain some sort of social studies curriculum in my life. Why does the news assume that we're all somehow involved in some continuing education of a social studies curriculum? Like I just always know where these countries are. I don't know where they are. I don't know what an ethnic Ukrainian is. All these terms and phrases and locations. I don't know where they are. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why Russia feels it's important to take them over. I don't know where Syria is. I don't know where Libya is. I don't know where Kazakhstan is. I don't know really where Iran and Iraq is. I have a general idea because it's been in the news for 100 years. I'm Jewish. I don't even know where Israel is. I couldn't, if you gave me a map without lines and boundaries and names, I couldn't even tell you where Israel is. I just know that they don't get along with the Palestinians. The Palestinians don't get along with the Jews. This is going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. Israel wants a state. Then they got the Gaza. They got the desert. Oh, we got the settlements. Every time I hear the word settlements, I want to break my TV into 1 million pieces. What the hell is a settlement? You mean like a condo? Is it a retirement village? When I was a kid, I barely understood what Rio Rancho was. Does anybody remember Rio Rancho? Nah. Some place in Mexico or Arizona. It was like one of those places they wanted you to move to. Come to Rio Rancho, live in the desert. When I was a kid, they would advertise moving to Rio Rancho. I think it's still there. I'm pretty sure all the houses are sold by now. It's been 40 years. I used to watch Felix the Cat, and they would advertise Rio Rancho. Holy crap. Wow, 28 minutes of this. Well, that was the it. I didn't even think I had anything to talk about today. Congratulations to the winners and the losers of all the elections. You did your best either way you did your best. I hope everything turns around. I hope we find utopia. Wouldn't it be great? Let's make America great again. Make utopia great again. Make it exist. Who knows? Get rid of racism. Help the economy. Do everything. Make it perfect. All right. Blah, blah, blah. That's the end. Dumbing It Down with Dave. I don't need biased news. I don't need it. Just give me the news. What's wrong with you? Why don't you trust me to understand? Educate me and then trust me to understand. Let me make my own decision. Left or to the right. Fair and balanced. We report, you decide. Ridiculous. The other side doesn't say nothing. They just lie, they just put out stuff. They like to make themselves seem important. All right, folks, thank you very much for listening to episode 40. What a epic day in dumbingitdownwithdave.com history. All right, dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. That's the email address. Or you can comment on the Spreaker app. Thank you so much. I can't even see how much time I got left. My eyes are horrible. And it's nighttime now with this change in time. Goodbye. Good day. Good luck. Did I say good night? Good night. Good day. Goodbye. Good luck. Good riddance. Godspeed and great skills. Take care. Wait a second. I finally got my eyes to focus. I'm only at 25 minutes. Okay. I mean, I really should have just ended the show. But I do have 5 more minutes. So let me just slowly say, please email me. I'd like to hear from you all. I'm trying to do a fair and balanced show. I like to report my email and let you decide. All right? dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. It's done with a B, dum-dum. All right? It's with a B. It'd be nice to get an email once every so often. Don't be. I appreciate you listening. I don't want you to think I'm not grateful. Just be nice if you sent an email. Or comment on the Spreaker app. SPR, not speaker, Spreaker. SPREAKER.com. It's an app. You know what an app is? Short for application, I guess. You download the Spreaker app on Google Play Store or whatever they call that. Whatever it is, just do it. You know how to do it. Comment, like, follow. Help the algorithm. There's an algorithm. Al Gore. Did he make up that word? Al Gore. Algorithm. So, please like. It's so important that you like. I need you to like me. I need you to like the show. Leave a comment. Share. Oh yeah, share. You know, put yourself out there and say, hey, here's my friend Dave. He does this show called Dumbing It Down with Dave. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Google+. Share it on Twitter, @DumbWithDave. That's my Twitter handle. I don't know. @DumbWithDave. And I appreciate you guys listening. I hope it was entertaining. It's kind of fun for me to do. It'd just be more fun if more people responded. I'm trying to do a very fair and balanced show. I blog, you decide. I vlog? No, that's video blogging. Whatever. I record, you decide. And I think I give you something to chew on. Do you care for this biased news? Would you mind so terribly if CNN wasn't so left and Fox wasn't so right? Somewhere in the middle, they just told you the way it was. This is the way it is. This is how it works. It's how it works. That's all I need to know. This is the truth. This is the pragmatic truth. This is what this country is and is not doing. Not just this country, the United States of America, any country. Kazakhstan, Iraq, Iran, whatever. And just call the countries by one name, not 5 different names. Don't call it UK, Great Britain, and Europe, or whatever. Just don't give it like 3 or 4 different names. Just call it one place. They do that with Iran. I forgot the other name they call it. All right? Explain to me Saudi Arabia. Explain all these things. Do news for the layman. So we understand why this is important to me. Who's an ethnic what? Who's a nationalist what? Who's a revisionist what? Explain it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't take social studies into my 50s. I didn't do well with social studies back in the day. What makes you think I'm doing well with social studies now? You want to make it a little bit entertaining? Make it a little bit entertaining. And don't play the same 5-second clip over and over and over again. Don't you hate that when you're watching the news and they show the same 5 seconds? Really? You can't show something before and after? Just the same clip over and over again. Just runs and runs and runs. It's weird. It's weird to see that. I don't understand why you can't show more video. All right. Slow it down. Slow the news down a little bit. Or do an alternate broadcast somehow on the internet. In case you didn't understand. In case you're not college educated, dum-dum, Dave Canyon. In case you're one of those guys that voted for Trump because you're not college educated, here's the news a little bit slower. That wouldn't offend me at all. I would appreciate that. Here it is, once again, a little bit slower. And you can click on things on the internet to really get more understanding. That would be fantastic. If I can click on something, what was that word? Click on it, and then there's a bubble that pops up and goes, and it explains what it is. I would love that. I'd probably never use it, but I would love that it was available to me. All right, guys. Once again, thanks for listening to the extra couple of minutes there. Have a good night. Have a good day. Goodbye. Good luck. Good riddance. Take care. All right. Godspeed and great skills.